In this video, I'm going to show you how to submit an activity to the self-reported learning section of the SQA Online Learning Center. You start from the SQA homepage at www.sqa.org and log into your account. Once you are logged in, you will see the My Account button here at the top. You will click on that and it will take you to an account page with your profile information. Here on the left side, you'll see My Online Courses and Recordings. This is the way to get into the SQA Online Learning Center. So we will click on this link and it will open a new page and load the Online Learning Center for us, including any courses you may have access to, which are all going to be here and available to you. For this particular video, we're going to focus on this box on the right-hand side that says Self-Reported Learning, Non-Transcript RQAP Re-registration Units. And you'll notice that there are two links. We've got Submit Self-Reported Learning and View Past Submissions. We are talking about submitting self-reported learning for items that do not automatically appear in your SQA transcript. Any SQA annual meeting, SQA quality college courses, SQA webinars, these things will all appear in your transcript. You may have to claim credits depending on the type of activity that it is, but you will claim the credits in the course rather than doing it here. This area is for non-SQA activities. So if you attended an ACRP or a DIA conference, for example, or if you have membership in an outside organization, this is where you would submit it. Or for SQA activities that do not automatically appear in your transcript, including speaking at a conference or in a training workshop, SQA membership or SQA chapter membership, and committee membership or leadership, depending on what the parameters are. You'll have to check the re-registration SOP for all of the types of activities for which you can earn re-registration units. But anything that does not automatically appear in your transcript can be submitted here. So let's look at the form. You'll see that there are a lot of instructions here at the top of the form. I encourage you to read all of the instructions because we have a lot of information here to access. There is a link to the detailed written out set of submission instructions. We've also got information on the SOPs and that sort of thing in here. I'm not going to obviously read all of this to you, but I encourage you to read it to yourself before you submit for the first time. We have several options here, and most of them are required to fill in. We encourage you to select your activity category. So if this is a live face-to-face training, if this is an online learning situation, pick your category. The site will reload, and we're going to scroll down here again and enter our activity title. And I'm going to just make something up for the purposes of the video. It will put in the date completed. It's going to default to today's date at the time that it is right now. The time does not matter, so you don't need to change the time. Just change the date to whatever the date of your actual workshop, training course, whatever the activity is. If it's something like a membership or a committee membership, committee participation, you can put either the first date of the year that it happened, the last date of the year that it happened, just some sort of date to give us a time frame. Then you've got to choose your credits. If it's GCP, GLP, neither GCP nor GLP, or could count for either. And again, refer to the re-registration SOP for details on that. I'm going to go ahead and put in that this was for a 2-hour workshop. You have to fill in all the boxes. So I would encourage you to first put your number in for whatever you're claiming and then put a 0 in all of the other boxes, because it will kick it back to you and yell at you if you do not do it with a 0 in the other boxes. And then the description is for you to put in description, the agenda, any details that you think will help the reviewer make sense of what you're submitting, including if you're not sure that you have exactly the right documentation when we get down to attachments, and you want to explain why, for example, you don't have a badge or a sign-in sheet, but that this other piece of your documentation is meant to take the place of that, you can put that in the description field as well. The number of hours of learning or teaching time, excluding time for meals, this should, if it's a time-determined activity, should probably match this. So if it's a training workshop and you're claiming 2 credits, this should be 2 hours. If it's not a time-determined activity, if it's something like a committee membership, just put in NA in this field for not applicable. And then the last thing to do is to add attachments. And you can attach up to 10 files, which you can see, and the maximum file size is 750 megabytes. You can do that by clicking here and clicking upload a file and navigating if you're more comfortable with that. My preference is to just drag and drop a file there because it's easier for me. So I'm just going to drag a PDF over here. You've got a whole bunch of file types that you can attach. And then when you're done, just click submit. And this will take you to a list of your submissions. And we are going to look at how to get to this list from the home page in case you are not there to begin with. So I'm going to go to the home page. And that is where this view past submissions button comes in. So we're going to click on that. And you see you have an option to submit a new submission or to view your submissions. We're going to view. And you've got a list here of your open submissions, which are things that have not been approved and have not been denied and have not been resubmitted. So those are here. I don't have any in denied, but if I did, I could click here and look at them. There's one approved. So we could click here and look at that, and it's got the nice approved status. And then I have nothing in resubmitted right now. So let's go back to our open list. We have the one that we just submitted, Great Workshop, which is awaiting review. It has not been looked at by a reviewer yet. And then we have one activity that has more information required. Now, as a user, if the reviewer changes the status of your item to more information required, you will get an email that tells you that. The email will say there was a status change on activity titled Test 2, and you will be able to come here and look at this. The reviewer should leave you a note that tells you what more information is required. And to look at that note, we're going to go over here to this magnifying glass. When you hover over it, it says View. We're going to click that. And it's going to take us to a page that looks very much like the submission page, except you can't change anything. It's just got the details. You can click on your attachment and download it or look at it if you'd like. But what I am coming here for is for this note. And the note tells you when it was written. We do make them anonymous. We don't want you to know which reviewer shared this note because if it's something that is upsetting to someone, we don't want the reviewer to get blamed for it personally when this is not a personal decision. So we need documentation that you were there, a picture of your badge, a sign-in sheet, a note from the instructor, etc. So my attachments must not have included that information. And that's the note that is the feedback that it's giving me of what I need to do in order to get this approved. You have two options. First of all, I'm going to go back and I'll show you on the page we were on. This edit, this gear here, if you hover over it, it says edit, allows you to edit your submission. If you're on the view page already, because you've been looking at the note, you also have this gear at the top of the page that says edit for that activity. Please do not click this person with the X unless you really mean to. This is a delete button. You do not want to delete your submission unless that's absolutely your intent. You don't want anybody to look at it. So we'll click on the edit button and you'll see it's just like a brand new form. Everything is there and you're just, maybe you were instructed to modify the number of credits. Maybe you were asked a question that you need to answer in the description, or maybe like me, you need to attach an additional file that has more information. So when we do that, and you might even put in your description, I have attached an additional document. And maybe I even want to put the date. And we'll submit it. And now that item is no longer in my open items, it's in the resubmitted category. And when I look over at resubmitted, it's awaiting review because now it's waiting for my reviewer to look at it. And this open one is still just awaiting review. So that is my quick overview of what to do in order to submit your RQAP re-registration items. You will see in our transcript that we have a number of things that have already been completed and we've gotten credit for, including these test entry, which is the item that we asked for approval for previously. So we've got a few things in here that have already written to our transcript. And if you're ever unsure about what will count for your re-registration units, hopefully you know the dates between which you are supposed to be able to count your re-registration units. For example, between October 1st, 2018 and September 30th, 2021. This should allow you to sort your activities by your completion date, and then you can ignore the items that are outside of the frame of your re-registration time. So that's a quick overview. I hope that it has been helpful. And if, as always, if you have any questions, please contact us at rqap@sqa.org, and we'll be happy to help you with any RQAP re-registration questions you might have. Thanks so much.